This video did not find you by accident. It appeared in your field, in your feed, at this exact moment because you have reached the final phase of your alignment. This is not an algorithm. This is a quantum signal. Its appearance is a fated event, a precise marker in your timeline confirming that you are ready. The very title, right before everything aligns for you, this video appears, is not clickbait. It is a statement of energetic fact. You have been broadcasting a question into the quantum field, and this is its echo, its answer, delivered to you in the language of your current reality. This isn't wishful thinking. It isn't a platitude. It's based on a hard principle of physics, phase locking. Imagine two singers in a vast hall, trying to hit the same powerful note. At first, their voices are separate, slightly out of sync, creating a chaotic sound. But as they listen to each other, as their intention to harmonize deepens, their sound waves begin to align. They enter a state of constructive interference. Suddenly, one single, coherent, room-shaking note emerges, a resonance so powerful it feels as though the very air has solidified. That is phase locking. It is the law that says two separate vibrational patterns, when held in proximity and with a coherent intention, must inevitably merge into one unstoppable state. Your consciousness and your desired reality have been those two singers, and you're about to hit the note. In the next hour, I will show you the scientific and energetic proof that your work is done. You will learn to recognize the deeply counterintuitive signs that your breakthrough is not just close but imminent. And most importantly, you will receive the final protocol to allow, not chase, its physical arrival. We are going to dismantle the illusion of the final struggle and replace it with the certainty of the final surrender. The science of resonance is absolute. When any system, whether it's a crystal, a violin string, or your own bioenergetic field, is fed enough consistent energy, it reaches a saturation point. It cannot absorb any more. At that critical threshold, it has no choice but to begin broadcasting a new, powerful, and stable frequency. Every meditation, every affirmation, every difficult choice you made in alignment with your future self, every time you held on to faith when logic told you to give up, that was you, feeding energy into the system. You were charging it. If you feel this video found you at the exact right moment, hit the like button now. It's your first act of acknowledging this alignment, and I know you have reached that point. I know it because I know the feeling, the exquisite frustration, the spiritual fatigue. I know the feeling of being so close you can almost taste the air of that new reality. You can feel the sunlight of that new day on your skin, yet you look around and see nothing but the same four walls. The frustration is a unique and isolating pain, isn't it? It's the exhaustion of the morning check, that split second after you open your eyes, before full consciousness returns, where you hold your breath and scan your reality, hoping, praying that today is the day it finally shifted, only to feel that familiar, heavy drop in your stomach. It's the flicker of doubt after a profoundly good meditation. You feel connected, powerful, aligned, and then you check your email or see a bill, and the magnificent vibration you cultivated evaporates like mist, leaving you feeling foolish and naive. And perhaps most painfully, it's the sting of seeing others get what you want, so effortlessly. It's not just envy, it's a deep cosmic confusion. You think, I've done the work, I've followed the rules. Why them and not me? You start to question everything, your methods, your worthiness, your sanity. That feeling is not a sign of failure. Read that again. That feeling is not a sign of your failure. It is the primary symptom of imminent alignment. It is the tension in the string right before it sounds the perfect note. It is the pressure building in the earth before a diamond is formed. The profound weariness you feel is not because your efforts have been in vain, but because they have been successful. You have poured so much energy into this that you are, quite simply, full. Let's use a central metaphor for this journey. Imagine that at the core of your being, there exists a perfect, clear crystal, your consciousness. For years, perhaps your entire life, you have been charging this crystal. Every intention was a photon of light shot into its core. Every moment of choosing love over fear was a pulse of energy that made it vibrate. Every tear you shed in your moments of deepest despair was not wasted. It was a sacred fluid that washed over the crystal, cleansing its facets. Every book you read, every video you watched, every difficult inner journey you undertook, all of it was energy being absorbed, stored, and integrated into the crystalline structure of your being. For a long time, this process was invisible. You were pouring energy into something that gave no outward sign of change. But inside, at a level beyond your physical senses, a profound densification was occurring. The crystal was becoming saturated. It has now reached that saturation point. It cannot hold any more of your past effort. It cannot absorb one more drop of intention. It is now so dense with the light of your becoming that it has reached a state of critical mass. It must begin to broadcast. It must begin to radiate. It must begin to project its new, coherent and powerful frequency so intensely that the physical world around it has no choice but to reorganize itself in accordance with its new song. By the end of this video, you will understand this not as a hopeful idea, but as a physical and energetic reality. You will move from the anxious state of waiting to the profound peace of witnessing. The identity of the seeker will dissolve because you have already found it. The identity of the builder will fall away because the house is already complete. You will shift fully and completely into the receiver. You will walk away from this experience with the unshakable, bone-deep confidence that your new reality is not just coming, it is already here, energetically. And your only remaining job is to allow its shadow to become its form. That crystal of your consciousness, the one you've been charging for years, it is not an infinite vessel, it has a limit. Every energetic system in the universe, from a star collecting hydrogen to a battery storing electricity, has a saturation point, a critical threshold beyond which its fundamental nature must change. Your spiritual and energetic body is no different. All the work you have done, every meditation, every journal entry, every difficult conversation, every moment you chose a higher thought, every tear you shed in release, was not to chip away at a mountain of resistance. It was to pour energy into a vessel. It was to charge a system to its absolute capacity. You were not trying to earn your new reality. You were building up the energetic potential required for a phase transition. Think of water. This is the most crucial scientific analogy for you to understand right now. If you take a beaker of water at room temperature, it is simply water. You can apply heat to it, and for a very long time, nothing appears to happen. The temperature climbs from 20 degrees Celsius to 30 to 50 to 80. The water is absorbing immense amounts of energy, yet its form remains unchanged. It is still just water. This period is the spiritual journey you know so well. It is the long dark night of the soul. It is the years of dedicated practice where you are pouring your life force, your focus, your faith into the process. But the reflection in the mirror remains the same. The bank account reads the same. The relationships feel the same. This is the stage where most people give up, believing the heat is having no effect. They don't understand the physics of transformation. They don't understand that the energy is not being wasted. It is being stored, accumulated, building towards a non-negotiable threshold. Then, the water reaches 99 degrees. This is the most uncomfortable state. It is agitated. It is simmering. Bubbles of the new reality begin to form but collapse back into the old. It is unstable, volatile, and deeply frustrating. At 99 degrees, the water is neither calm liquid nor liberated steam. It is trapped between two worlds. This is where you are. This is why this video found you. You are at 99 degrees. You can feel the heat. You can sense the potential. You are simmering with a reality that has not yet been born, and it is exhausting. The final degree is not about applying more heat. The work of heating the water is done. The final degree is simply the tipping point where the laws of physics take over. At 100 degrees Celsius, the water has no choice. It cannot remain water. It has absorbed the maximum amount of energy it can hold in its current state. It must transform. It undergoes a phase transition into steam, a new form with new properties governed by new rules, existing in a higher energetic state. The transformation is not a reward. It is a consequence, but it is physics. This saturation and readiness, this state of being at 99 degrees and ready for inevitable transformation, is what we call the final frequency lock. This is not a mindset. It is not a feeling you have to sustain, or a vibration you must struggle to hold. The final frequency lock is a state of irreversible energetic coherence. It is a fact that has been established in the quantum field. Your energy signature has reached such a density, such a critical mass of coherence with your desired reality, that the two have phase locked. They are now one signal, and this lock has three defining characteristics. First, it is defined by inevitability. Once the lock is engaged, your manifestation is no longer a probability. It is a physical inevitability, like an object released from your hand must fall to the ground. The outcome is already written into the physics of your new energetic state. The universe is no longer calculating odds. It is simply arranging the logistics of delivery. Second, it is defined by stability. This is not a fragile, fleeting state you can fall out of. The immense energy you invested to reach this point creates a powerful gravitational field. The final frequency lock is your new energetic center of gravity. It is now more difficult to return to your old frequency than it is to remain in the new one. It has become your default state of being. And third, it is defined by effortlessness. The lock itself does the work. The powerful, coherent signal it broadcasts is what reorders reality around you. Your job is no longer to generate the frequency. Your only job is to stop introducing static that interferes with the broadcast. You have spent years building a powerful radio tower. Now, you must simply let it transmit its signal without fiddling with the dials. This is precisely why the methods that got you to 99 degrees will fail you now. In fact, they become profoundly counterproductive. Trying to apply old strategies to this new state is like trying to push a river. More effort now just creates resistance. Let's diagnose the three primary ways we interfere with the signal. The first is forcing. You try to add more energy, to do more affirmations, to visualize harder, convinced that one final push will get you over the line. But the water is already at 100 degrees. Shoving more heat into the system doesn't make it more boiled. It just creates violent, chaotic turbulence. It disrupts the smooth, natural phase transition into steam. Energetically, forcing introduces chaotic, desperate frequencies into a system that has finally achieved coherence, delaying the manifestation you so desire. The second, and perhaps most destructive, is obsessive checking. You look for your manifestation in the 3D world. You check your email, your bank account, your reflection, asking, is it here yet? Every time you check for the result with the eyes and the feelings of your old reality, you are performing a quantum measurement. You are collapsing the infinite wave of potential back into the single particle of what currently is. You are using the immense power of your observation to reaffirm the absence, not the presence. The universe is trying to deliver the new reality, but your focus on the old one keeps nailing it in place. You are holding the door shut and asking why no one is coming in. The third failed approach is seeking external validation. You ask for signs. You ask the tarot cards, the psychic, your friends, if it's really coming. This introduces the frequency of doubt into the equation. It's like asking the ice cube tray if the water is really freezing. Your request for confirmation is a powerful declaration that you are not yet certain. It broadcasts a wavering, incoherent signal when the final frequency lock requires absolute internal coherence. Think back to a time you tried to force an outcome with sheer effort, only for it to fall apart. Can you feel the difference between that energy and the resonance we're discussing now? So, if your manifestation is close, this is the simple explanation of what to do. Shift from action to allowance. This is divine alignment explained simple. The old paradigm was about building, striving, climbing, and charging. It was necessary, it was honorable, and its work is complete. You have reached the summit. The new paradigm is about receiving. It is about witnessing. It is about allowing. It is a complete reversal of approach. Your role has changed from the generator of the energy to the guardian of the coherence. It's not about adding anything more. It's about not subtracting from the perfection that has already been achieved. It is not pushing a boulder uphill anymore. You have already done that grueling, impossible work. You have pushed it to the very crest of the hill. The new paradigm is not about giving it one last heroic shove. It is about taking a deep breath, stepping aside, and watching it roll down the other side with an unstoppable momentum of its own, right to your feet. You have spent years rowing your boat against a powerful current, your muscles burning, your spirit weary. You've now reached the estuary where the great river meets the ocean. The new paradigm is not about rowing harder. It is about putting down the oars, raising the sail, and allowing the vast, powerful currents of the universe to carry you effortlessly to the destination that has been waiting for you all along. This is not passivity. It is the highest form of trust. It is the ultimate act of power. It is the shift from maker to master. For so long, you have been asking one question. What is the final thing I must do? You've searched for the missing technique, the one last secret, the final energetic key that will unlock everything. We have been trained by our reality to believe that every great achievement requires one final, heroic effort, one last push across the finish line. We see it in movies, we read it in books. The hero, exhausted but determined, gives everything they have in one final, climactic action that wins the day. And so, you stand at the precipice of your new reality, believing you must perform some great act of will to bring it into being. This is the greatest misunderstanding of quantum creation. It is the final veil between you and everything you have worked for. And now we lift it. The central paradox is this. The final action you must take is the cessation of all action. The alignment you have been striving for is achieved not through force, but through radical surrender. The final frequency lock, that irreversible state of energetic coherence, does not happen when you apply the final ounce of pressure. It happens the moment you stop trying to create it. It clicks into place the instant you let go. This isn't a poetic sentiment. It is a description of physics. As long as you are trying, you are introducing the frequency of effort, of lack, of not-hareness into your field. You are stirring the water that is trying to freeze into a perfect crystal. The moment you stop, the moment you release the need to control, the moment you surrender to the work you have already done, the chaotic energy dissipates, and in that pristine quiet, your dominant, saturated frequency takes over, and the lock becomes an instantaneous, undeniable fact. This changes everything. Let the implications of this wash over you, for this is the great liberation. First, this means that all of your past work was not in vain. It was successful. Every meditation, every affirmation, every difficult choice, every tear shed, every moment you held on to faith when logic told you to quit. Every single one of those acts was a deposit of energy into the resonating crystal of your being. You weren't failing. You were charging. You were building energetic potential, reaching the critical saturation point. The work is not ahead of you. The work is complete. You have already done what was required. What if the final step isn't a step at all, but a release? What old struggle could you let go of right now, knowing the work is already done? Second, this means your desired reality is not something you are pulling toward you anymore. It is an energetic inevitability that you are simply allowing to arrive. Think of it this way. Your work created a powerful energetic vortex, a gravitational center in the quantum field. Your new reality, which already exists as a potential, is now inexorably drawn to that center. It is not a question of if, but simply of when it will appear in your physical space. You are no longer dragging it toward you against immense resistance. You are now the center of gravity, and it is collapsing into your experience by the laws of physics. Third, this means that any feeling of anxiety, or impatience, or doubt is not a sign that you are failing. It is simply the static of the old frequency dying out. It is the final, powerless echo of a reality that is no longer supported by your energy. When a great ship changes course, the wake of its old direction continues for a short while. That turbulence is not a sign the ship is off course. It is proof that a powerful turn has been made. So when you feel that flicker of old fear, do not believe it. Recognize it for what it is, the ghost of a timeline you no longer inhabit. And because of all this, it means you can finally rest. The battle is over. The striving is finished. You can set down the immense weight of trying to manage the universe. You are no longer the project manager of your manifestation, worrying about every detail and every logistical step. The universe is the master logistician. Your role has shifted. You have done the energetic work. And now the quantum field is handling the physical rearrangement. Your only job is to get out of the way and allow the delivery. You can breathe. You can finally, truly breathe. This requires a profound shift in your approach. You are moving out of the paradigm of effortful creation and into a new state we call active receiving. This is not passive waiting. This is not sitting on the couch and giving up. Passivity is laced with doubt. Active receiving is a state of alert, peaceful expectation. It is the energy of standing on a train platform, knowing your train is the next to arrive. You are not running down the tracks chasing it. You are not anxiously checking the schedule every 10 seconds. You have your ticket. You know its destination. You simply stand, present and aware, ready to step on board when its doors open before you. It is a state of profound trust, not in hope, but in the physics of a process that is already complete. And this new approach is born from the most profound shift of all, a shift in your very identity. For your entire journey, you have been operating under the illusion that you are a person who has a resonating crystal, one that you must carefully tend to, charge and protect. That is not the ultimate truth. You are not a person who has a crystal. You are the resonating crystal. The separation was an illusion of the journey. Now, at the destination, you must integrate this truth. You are not a seeker, desperately scanning the horizon for a signal. You are the broadcaster. You are the tower, radiating a powerful, stable, coherent frequency, and the universe is simply tuning all of its dials to your transmission. You are not a builder, anxiously trying to lay the final brick on a home you have been laboring to construct. You are the resident, holding the key in your hand, walking through the front door of a home that was already finished for you by the architect of the cosmos. You are not a striver, a chaser, or a maker. You are a receiver. You are a witness. You are the living, breathing frequency of the reality that is now arriving. So let's talk about the real signs your manifestation is close. They are not what you think. This frequency lock isn't silent. It has a signature, a resonance that begins to ripple out from the quantum field into your physical reality. The universe leaves clues, evidence that your new world is being rendered, that the energetic blueprint is being printed onto the fabric of space and time. But these clues are almost always misunderstood because they do not conform to the logic of the old, effort-based paradigm. I am going to reveal the 3 most profound and counterintuitive signs that prove your alignment is complete, that the final frequency lock is engaged. Learning to read these signs will move you from an intellectual understanding into a deeply felt, unshakable personal conviction. You will stop looking for proof because you will realize you are surrounded by it. The first sign is the shedding of the old. Just before your new reality arrives, you will often experience what appears to be loss. A job you were holding on to suddenly ends. A friendship that defined a part of your life effortlessly fades away. An old habit or interest that you thought was part of your identity simply loses its charge and vanishes. From the outside, it can look like your life is falling apart. The ego will scream that you are moving backward. This is a profound misunderstanding of the physics at play. Your final frequency lock means you are now broadcasting a new, stable, high-coherence signal. By the laws of resonance, anything in your life that is not a vibrational match to that new signal can no longer remain in your orbit. It is not being taken from you. It is being repelled by the sheer power of your new frequency. The universe is not punishing you. It is clearing the runway. It is lovingly and efficiently removing the furniture of your old reality so it can deliver the architecture of your new one. Imagine a woman who has been working for years on her self-worth, intending to start her own consulting business, but clinging to a stable, corporate job that drains her soul. She has charged her resonating crystal with the frequency of sovereignty, freedom, and impact. The crystal is now saturated. It has achieved the final frequency lock. One Monday morning, she walks into the office and is told her position has been eliminated in a corporate restructuring. Her mind panics. Fear grips her. How will I pay my bills? This is a disaster. My manifestation failed. But that is the old logic. The new physics reveals the truth. Her new, powerful frequency of sovereignty could no longer coexist with the frequency of subservience required by her old job. The dissonance became too great. Reality had to resolve the conflict, and because her new frequency was locked and dominant, the old reality had to shatter and fall away. She did not lose a job. She shed a cage, and in the silent, terrifying space that follows, The universe has the room it needs to deliver the clients, the opportunities, and the resources that are a perfect match for the powerful signal she is now broadcasting. A week later, a former colleague calls her, out of the blue, with a project that is larger than her entire annual salary. This is not loss. This is energetic exfoliation. It is a sign of immense success. The second sign, and perhaps the most subtle, is the arrival of a profound calm, which can often be misinterpreted as divine boredom. You've been in the fight for so long, striving, pushing, affirming, visualizing. Your spiritual journey has been a high-stakes drama filled with intense highs and crushing lows. And then one day you wake up and there's quiet. The urgency is gone. The desperate need for your desire to manifest has softened into a peaceful expectation. There is no more striving. There is no more anxiety. Things may even feel a little flat, neutral, boring. This is not a sign that you have lost your connection. This is the sign that you have arrived. This is the feeling of the eye of the hurricane. The war is over. The struggle has ceased because the outcome is no longer in question. You have reached a state of such complete energetic coherence with your desire that there is no longer any friction, no more resistance to push against. The drama was a symptom of the dissonance between where you were and where you wanted to be. The absence of drama is the primary indicator that this dissonance has collapsed. You are here. Think of a warrior who has trained their entire life for one great battle. The days leading up to it are filled with adrenaline, fear, strategy, and immense effort. The battle itself is a chaotic symphony of action, and then it is won. The days that follow are quiet. The armor is set aside. There are no more enemies to fight. The warrior might feel a strange sense of emptiness, a what now feeling. He might mistake this profound peace for a lack of purpose, but it is the very purpose he was fighting for. It is the victory. This divine boredom is the feeling of your nervous system finally recalibrating to a reality of peace, a reality where the fight is finished. It is the calm before the physical evidence begins to pour in. You have been running a marathon, and you have just crossed the finish line. You are not meant to keep sprinting. You are meant to catch your breath and receive your medal. This quiet, this neutrality, is the feeling of your desire being a settled fact in the quantum field. It's done. If you are feeling this sense of quiet certainty, this feeling that the war is over, I want you to anchor it right now. In the comments, declare I am aligned to anchor this truth in the physical. Let's create a cascade of confirmation for everyone here. I want to witness your declaration. The third sign is the appearance of whispering synchronicities. In the early stages of manifestation, we often look for big, loud, cinematic signs, a bald eagle landing on our car, a billboard with our name on it. But when the final frequency lock is engaged, the signs become more subtle, more intimate, more personal. They are not shouts from the universe, they are whispers. You'll start to notice small repeated patterns, the same sequence of numbers appearing on the clock, on license plates, on receipts, 1111, 444, 222. You'll hear a specific, unusual word in a podcast, and then see it in a book, and then hear a stranger say it on the street. You'll think of a long-lost friend, and their favorite obscure song will play on the radio moments later. These are not meant to be clues you must decipher to find your manifestation. Do not fall into the trap of frantically trying to interpret their meaning. Their message is the pattern itself. These are not directions, they are confirmations. They are the universe giving you a gentle, reassuring nod. It is the quantum field whispering, I hear you. Your signal is clear. The delivery is in process. Stay the course. These whispering synchronicities are the first ripples of your new reality, beginning to lap at the shores of your current one. They are proof that the two worlds are beginning to merge. They are the artifacts of reality reconfiguring itself around your new, stable broadcast. When your frequency is locked, you become a powerful ordering principle in the field. Randomness begins to organize itself around your intention. Seeing these patterns is like seeing the first few snowflakes in the air before a gentle, blanketing snowstorm. They don't tell you exactly when the storm will arrive in full, but they are undeniable proof that the atmosphere has changed and the arrival is inevitable. They are the universe's way of saying, we are in communication, the connection is stable. These are not isolated events. They are the echoes of a future that has already happened in the quantum field. Your job is not to chase them, or force them, or even understand them fully. Your job is to notice them, and to say thank you. To help you integrate this, I want to give you a simple framework, a 3-step process for reading the resonance of your new reality. When one of these signs appears, you will now know exactly what to do. When you notice the sign, feel the feeling, and know the truth. Let's break that down. When you notice a job ending or a friendship fading, feel the quiet sense of space it has created in your life, and know the truth that the universe is making room for what is aligned. When you notice the feeling of profound calm or divine boredom, feel the release in your shoulders and your heart, and know the truth that the war is over and you have already won. When you notice a whispering synchronicity, like the number 7077 appearing 3 times in 1 hour, feel the gentle spark of recognition, that little smile in your soul, and know the truth that the universe is confirming its connection to you. Notice, feel, know. This is not a mental exercise, it is a practice of embodiment. It is how you move from hoping this is real to living in the calm, unshakable conviction that your new reality is already unfolding, right here, right now. You are simply learning to read the language of its arrival. You understand this intellectually. You have seen the evidence in your life, the counterintuitive signs that reality is already reconfiguring around you. Now, it is time to stop knowing and start being. It is time to feel this final frequency lock as an undeniable physical and energetic reality within your own body. Let's activate the broadcast. I invite you to find a comfortable position, one where your spine can be straight, but your body can be at ease. Close your eyes and take a single, deep, conscious breath, inhaling calm and exhaling the day. Bring your awareness inward, into the core of your being. Not your mind, not your thoughts, but the silent, spacious presence that resides within your chest. Let's begin by acknowledging the crystal. Within you is a resonant structure of pure consciousness. For years, you have been charging it. Every book you read, every meditation you sat through, every moment of fierce intention, every tear of frustration, every silent prayer whispered into the dark. All of it was energy. None of it was wasted. It was all absorbed, stored, and integrated into this crystalline core of you. I want you to feel the sum total of that journey now. Feel the energetic density of it. It may feel like a warmth in your solar plexus, a gentle pressure in your heart, or a solid, grounded weight at the base of your spine. This is not a burden. This is potential energy. This is power held in perfect stillness. Feel the saturation. Acknowledge the incredible work you have done to bring your being to this exact point of critical mass. You have gathered all the fuel. You have reached the saturation point. You are at 99 degrees. And now for the final, most important phase, the phase that requires no effort, only allowance. We will now introduce the keynote of surrender. This is not an action you take, but a truth you remember. The work is finished. It has been finished for some time. You have just been carrying the memory of the struggle. I want you to imagine, right now, that for your entire life, you have been carrying the heaviest bag you can possibly conceive of. It is filled with every expectation, every attempt to control, every fear of failure, every need to know how and when. You have carried it up a long, steep mountain, and you are now at the summit. And I am giving you full permission to simply let it go. Feel what that feels like. Not with your mind, but with your body. Feel the straps of that bag sliding from your shoulders. Feel the immediate release of tension in your neck, your upper back. A wave of profound relief. Let your shoulders drop. Unclench your jaw. Allow your breath to deepen, all on its own. This feeling, this deep, quiet, profound relief, this is the keynote. It is the frequency of done. The resonance of it is finished. There is nothing left for you to do. No final puzzle piece to find. No last hurdle to overcome. You can finally, truly, rest. The universe is now handling the logistics. All that is required of you is this state of peaceful, knowing allowance. Breathe into that feeling of surrender. Let it fill your entire being. Let it soothe the parts of you that have been striving for so long. The part that checks for results. The part that worries it's not working. The part that compares your journey to others. Soothe them all with this keynote of surrender. It is done. It is done. It is done. Now, something remarkable is happening. As you hold this pure frequency of surrender, of release, of trust, it begins to interact with the saturated crystal of your being. The keynote is meeting the charge, and you might feel a shift, a subtle click, a quiet sense of everything falling into place. Not with a bang, but with a silent, graceful alignment. This is the lock. A feeling of coherence, of peace, of profound rightness washing through your entire system. The static of the old frequency of struggle is gone, and in its place, a clear, stable, powerful hum. The crystal has begun to resonate. It is now broadcasting. Feel this hum in your chest, a gentle vibration of pure, locked-in potential. This is the frequency of your new reality, alive inside you. This is you. As you feel this new resonance solidifying, becoming your primary state, as you come back to this space, what single word best describes the frequency of your new reality? Abundance, peace, love, freedom, certainty. Find your word. Hold that word. It is your energetic signature. And now, for the final dissolution. You have felt the crystal. You have introduced the keynote. You have felt the lock-in. But there is one final truth to embody. You are not a body that contains this broadcast. You are the broadcast. Dissolve the separation. Feel the boundary between your skin and the air around you begin to soften. Feel this clear, resonant frequency, your frequency, radiating outwards from your core in all directions. You are not sending a signal. You are the signal. You are not attracting your new reality. You are the energetic source code of that reality, radiating outwards and instructing the quantum field to rearrange itself around you. Feel yourself as a broadcasting tower of your new reality, stable, powerful, inevitable, radiating your truth into the field without effort, without agenda, simply by being who you now are. This is your final frequency lock. Stay in this state for a moment. Feel its truth, its power, its peace. And now, very gently, bring your awareness back to your physical body. Feel the chair beneath you, the air on your skin. When you are ready, you can slowly open your eyes, but stay connected to that broadcast. That resonance is not a temporary state you achieved in a meditation. It is now your default state. It is who you are. You have activated the final frequency lock. You are now an aligned operator. This is your new identity. This is your new function. And your function is profoundly simple. Your only job now is to not interfere with the signal you are broadcasting. The universe is handling the logistics, the delivery, the how and the when. Your role is to maintain signal clarity. To do this, you do not need more struggle, more techniques, or more work. You need a new set of operating principles built not on effort, but on elegance. Here are 3 practical, powerful tools to ensure your broadcast remains pure, powerful, and uninterrupted. So now that you know your manifestation is near, here is exactly what to do. The first tool is the 24-hour reality embargo. For the next 24 hours, starting from the moment this video ends, you will place a gentle but firm embargo on any evidence that contradicts your new locked-in frequency. This is not an act of denial. It is a sophisticated application of quantum law. The observer effect dictates that where you place your attention, you place your energy, and that energy is the very creative force that sustains a reality. By deliberately withdrawing your observation from the old story, you starve it of the fuel it needs to persist. You unplug it from its power source, which has always been you. Here is how you will do this. For the next 24 hours, when a piece of the old reality presents itself, an unwelcome bill, a negative comment, a feeling of lack in your body, a familiar anxious thought, you will not fight it. You will not argue with it. You will not try to fix it. You will simply notice it, without judgment, and then gently withdraw your focus. You will pivot your attention back to the feeling of the broadcast you activated moments ago. The hum, the coherence, the peace. You simply let the old data point be there, like a cloud passing in the sky, and you choose to focus on the sun instead. This is a practice of supreme energetic hygiene. A common mistake with the reality embargo is to actively resist the old reality. People try to push it away, to declare war on their current circumstances. This is a fatal error. Resistance is a powerful form of attention. To fight something is to give it immense energy. You don't fight the old reality. You simply make it irrelevant by withdrawing your focus. It's not resistance. It is a profound and graceful indifference. You are communicating to the universe, through your attention, that this old data is no longer relevant to the new system you are running. For 24 hours, you become a curator of your own focus, allowing only that which matches your broadcast to receive your creative energy. The second tool is called the thank you protocol for first contact. As you hold this new frequency, the universe will begin to send you evidence. It will start sending probes, feelers, the first small drops of rain before the downpour. This is first contact. It may be a small, unexpected sum of money. It might be a conversation where someone perfectly articulates a solution you were seeking. It could be a sudden feeling of well-being that has no external cause. These are the first physical artifacts of your new reality arriving in your field. Your response to this first contact determines the speed and volume of everything that follows. The protocol is absolute in its simplicity. When you notice one of these pieces of evidence, no matter how small, your only action, your only thought, your only feeling is thank you. A simple, pure, heartfelt thank you. You do not analyze it. You do not question if it's the one. You do not immediately look for more. You simply receive it with pure, uncomplicated gratitude. This gratitude is an energetic signal of receipt. It tells the quantum field, message received, package delivered. I'm open and ready for more. What is the very first old story you will stop telling yourself, starting today, to honor the final frequency lock you've just activated? The most common mistake here is to contaminate the reception with the energy of the mind. The mind will want to dissect the evidence. Is this it? Does this mean the big thing is coming? It's so small. Maybe it's just a coincidence. This analysis instantly introduces the frequencies of doubt, scarcity, and impatience. It collapses the infinite wave of potential back into a single, tiny, disappointing particle. The thank you protocol bypasses the analytical mind entirely. It is a transaction of the heart. It is a pure frequency of acceptance that keeps the channel wide open, signaling to the universe that the delivery was successful and the pathway is clear. Thank you. That is all. The third and final tool is for navigating quantum echoes. As your old reality dissolves, it will not go silently. It will send out echoes, like the aftershocks of an earthquake. A sudden, intense wave of your old core fear may wash over you. A familiar pattern of self-sabotage might appear. A deep-seated doubt you thought you had conquered will scream for your attention. It is critical that you understand what these are. They are not a sign that you have failed. They are not proof that your frequency has dropped. They are quantum echoes. They are the final, powerless, energetic remnants of a timeline that has already been decommissioned. They are the ghost in the machine, a memory trace with no actual power to create. The science of this is that the old neural pathways and energetic structures are dissolving, and as they do, they release their stored energy. This tool allows you to witness these releases without re-engaging them. The protocol is one of calm, detached recognition. When one of these echoes arises, you do not panic. You do not identify with it. You take a breath and you see it for what it is, an echo, a phantom. Then, with the quiet authority of the aligned operator, you say to it, internally, I see you, and you are no longer my reality. You acknowledge its appearance without giving it your belief. You are the mountain, and it is a weather pattern. You observe it pass, unmoved. A critical mistake is to believe the echo is a real-time signal of your current state. This is the old programming's last-ditch effort to trick you back into its loop. The moment you believe the echo, you give it your energy and begin to resurrect the very timeline you just collapsed. But by recognizing it as just an echo, a memory of a frequency that is no longer yours, you neutralize it instantly. You let it pass through you, and in doing so you assist in its final dissolution from your field. These three tools, the embargo, the protocol, and the navigation of echoes, are your new operational guidelines. But this is not meant to be a new job. It is not a new set of chores. The underlying shift is from a life of striving to a life of being. Therefore, your daily practice is no longer about adding anything. It is about remembering. Each morning, before you do anything else, before you check your phone, before you engage with the world, take just 60 seconds. Close your eyes. Do not try to generate a feeling. Do not try to visualize anything. Simply remember. Remember the feeling of your broadcast. Remember the coherence you activated in our meditation. Remember the quiet hum of your saturated, resonating crystal. Just remember who you are now. Hold that resonance for 60 seconds. That is all. You are not starting a fire. You are simply fanning the flames that are already burning bright. You are tuning your instrument for the day. This simple act of remembering is the most powerful creative act you can perform, for it aligns your entire being with the truth of what is already done. You arrived here feeling close but uncertain. You arrived with the memory of 1,000 efforts, the weight of 1,000 hopes, and the subtle, persistent ache of a destination that seemed to always remain just over the horizon. You now understand the physics of your own alignment. You have felt its truth resonate through your very cells. You have been given the tools not to create it, but to honor the fact that it is already complete. You have achieved the final frequency lock. Welcome. Welcome to the state of being you have worked so long to inhabit. Take a breath here. Feel the solidity of it. This is not a fleeting mood. It is a new energetic architecture. It is your new home, but your personal alignment, this profound and sacred homecoming, is the end of one journey and the beginning of another, far grander one. What happens when your powerful, coherent broadcast, the signal you are now radiating effortlessly, begins to interact with the world? What happens when your resonating crystal, now humming with a stable and potent frequency, is no longer an isolated phenomenon? It doesn't just attract your desired reality, it influences the field. Imagine for a moment that every person who has reached this state of coherence is a single, perfectly tuned crystal radiating a pure light. For a long time, these crystals were scattered, their light powerful but localized. Now, something is shifting. The crystals are beginning to recognize each other. Their frequencies are beginning to harmonize, creating a network of light, a planet-wide crystalline grid of coherent consciousness. Your lock-in was not just for you. It was a node activating on this global grid. Your signal of peace, of abundance, of love, of wholeness is now contributing to a collective symphony. You are no longer just calling your own reality home. You are helping to anchor a new potential for the entire world. This is the next horizon. This is the sacred responsibility and the effortless joy that comes with your mastery. Your inner work has become outer service, without you having to do a single thing but be who you now are. But how do you navigate this new world? How do you operate when reality itself becomes fluid and responsive to your internal state? When your locked-in frequency meets the quantum field, the universe begins to communicate with you directly. It starts speaking back in a language of pure physics, a language written in the fabric of space and time. That language is synchronicity. These events, the right person calling at the right time, the perfect book falling off a shelf, the recurring number sequence that appears just as you have a profound thought, are not random. They are not cute coincidences. They are data points. They are physical evidence of reality literally rearranging itself around your new broadcast. They are the universe's way of confirming your new trajectory. They are trail markers, left by a future self that has already arrived. Understanding this language is the key to effortless navigation. It is the difference between walking through a dark room and fumbling for the door, versus walking through a room where a path of lights illuminates before your every step. These synchronicities are not meant to be chased or deciphered like complex riddles. They are meant to be received as confirmation. They are the universe whispering, and yes, keep going, you are aligned, I am rearranging the logistics for you. Learning to live in this dialogue is the art of co-creation in its highest form. That is why our very next video is titled Synchronicity Explained: How Reality Rearranges Itself Around Your New Frequency. It is the essential operating manual for your newly activated state. Subscribe and activate all notifications, because your alignment is not an end but a new beginning. Our next video, Synchronicity Explained: How Reality Rearranges Itself Around Your New Frequency, is the essential next step in your journey. And after that, once you understand the language of reality's response, we will go even deeper. We will explore quantum entanglement explained, why your healing instantly affects others. We will examine the undeniable science of how your frequency lock creates instantaneous ripples that heal and elevate the people in your life, even those at a great distance. Your journey is becoming a beacon. You came to this video as one person on the verge of a breakthrough, one person exhausted by the final mile, perhaps even harboring a secret fear that all your work had been in vain. Remember that feeling. Honor it. For it was the pressure that turned carbon into diamond. You leave this video as something entirely new. You leave it as a powerful broadcasting tower of a new reality, a self-sustaining, coherent, resonant being whose only function is to be, go forward not in hope, but in certainty. Go forward not as a seeker, but as a witness. Witness the beautiful unfolding you have already created. Your alignment is done.